Hello, everyone, and welcome. Today, we're diving into something that can be a real headache for French learners, verb moods. You know, getting these right is the secret sauce that takes you from just speaking French to really sounding natural. So, let's get it sorted out.
Yeah. If you've ever found yourself just staring at a French sentence, wondering, why on earth does that verb look like that? You are definitely not alone. It can feel like a huge, confusing puzzle, but I promise, we're going to put all the pieces together today.
And that's really what we're all about at a French Rendezvous Inc. We love taking these tricky parts of French and making them click. So, let's start unraveling this whole idea of verb moods. Okay, so first things first, what even is a verb mood? The best way to think about it is like the verb's attitude. It's not about what action is happening, but how the speaker feels about it. Is it a fact, a wish, a command? Getting this little detail right is what unlocks real precision in your French.
So, how many of these attitudes or moods are we dealing with? In French, there are 7 in total. Now, I know 7 might sound like a lot, but don't worry, we can make it way simpler right off the bat by splitting them into 2 main groups. So these 7 moods fall into 2 camps, the personal moods and the impersonal moods. And the difference? It all boils down to the subject. With personal moods, we know exactly who or what is doing the action. With impersonal moods, the subject is either a mystery or it just doesn't matter. Let's meet the whole family. First up, we've got the absolute workhorse of French verbs, the indicative, or l'indicatif. This is the mood of reality, of facts. You use it for things that are certain, for objective truths. Honestly, think of it as the default setting for most sentences you'll ever say. For example, je travaille sur le projet. I am working on the project. It's just a straight-up fact. There's no doubt, no emotion, just a statement. That's the indicative, doing its thing. Simple, right? All right, now for the one that usually causes the most gray hairs, the subjunctive, or le subjonctif. If the indicative is the mood of reality, you can think of the subjunctive as the mood of, well, everything else. It's the world of feelings, doubts, wishes, opinions, anything that's subjective and not a concrete fact. A classic example is il faut que je fasse mon travail. It is necessary that I do my work. You see that phrase il faut que at the start? That is a huge trigger for the subjunctive. It's like a little flag telling you, hey, what's coming next isn't a fact, it's a necessity. Moving on, we have the conditional, le conditionnel. I like to call this the what-if mood. It's all about possibilities, polite ways of asking for things, and hypothetical situations that depend on something else happening first. For instance, avec le temps, je réussirais. With time, I would succeed. See the difference? It's not saying I will succeed, but I would succeed. It's a potential outcome, not a guarantee. That's the conditional for you. Okay, our last personal mood is super direct and to the point. This is the imperative, or l'impératif. Its job is simple, to give an order, a command, or maybe some strong advice. For example, Achète le produit. Buy the product. It's a direct command, no messing around, no ambiguity, just a clear instruction. That's the imperative. All right, let's flip over to the impersonal moods, where the specific subject doesn't really matter. We'll start with the infinitive, l'infinitive. This is the basic, unchanged form of the verb you'd find in a dictionary, like to eat or to sleep. But in French, it can do something really cool. It can act just like a noun. Check this out. Marcher est bon pour la santé. Walking is good for your health. Here, the verb marcher is actually the subject of the whole sentence. It's an action being treated like a thing. Pretty neat, right? Next up is the participle, le participe. This is another one of those multi-talented moods. It lets a verb kind of moonlight as an adjective, which is great for adding descriptive details. And it comes in both a present and a past form. For example, if you say c'est fatigant, you mean it's tiring. The word fatigant comes from the verb to tire, but here it's not acting like a verb at all. It's describing the situation. It's a verb doing an adjective's job. And our final mood is the gerund, le gérondif. This one is perfect for multitasking. It describes another action that's happening at the same time as the main action, and it usually tells you how something is being done or while doing what. For example, je travaille en écoutant de la musique. I work while listening to music. So you're doing 2 things at once.
The gerund, en écoutant, links those two actions together and tells us the circumstances of the work. So there you have it. That's your quick tour of the 7 French verb moods. Now, of course, knowing what they are is just the first step. The real magic happens when you master when and how to use them without even thinking about it. And that, my friends, is all about practice and having the right guidance. At a French Rendezvous Inc., we've actually built an entire learning ecosystem to help you do just that, to take this knowledge and really make it your own. Whether you learn best with one-on-one courses, or you want to practice anytime on our interactive platform, or you just love tools like flashcards and audio clips, we've got a way to make it work for you. So if you're ready to go from just understanding French grammar to truly mastering it, we'd love to help. Come and see how we can build a plan that fits your goals. In fact, we're so sure you'll love our approach that we have a special offer. If you refer an organization for our corporate programs, you could get up to a whole year of individual courses completely free. Just get in touch for the details. Thanks for joining me, and happy learning.
A French rendezvous.